No more Hispanic workers on his job site, so they called him in.
Please welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda Strana. Thank you so much for all the love and support. To my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and also educate each and every one of us, you guys are the real MVP. This video made for you, and I thought to share where MAGA supporters are still till date regretting the word. They talked about how this is not what they voted for. I am losing it. Everyone around me is losing it. And so therefore, this is not what we want. We want an impeachment. Like, he's actually got me thinking. And I was like, let me just put it up here for us to see what is going on. I'm just going to roll the clip. As well as some of other stitches I was able to put together. Because this is now affecting them personally. And now this is when they want a change. Leave me your own thought in the comment section. Subscribe if you're yet to do that, and let's dive into it.
Border. I don't know how long I can keep doing this. I have a construction company, and not a fucking thing is getting done. This is what I get. This is what I fucking get. Nothing but white boys. It takes 4 days to do a one-day job. I might have fucked up.
Trump just made America's biggest mistake. They drove the workers away. Now the whole country is falling apart. Latest news from the White House. Massive evictions backfired. California farmers watched $2 billion worth of crops rot in the fields. 4,000 farm workers disappeared overnight. Grocery prices up 40% in 2 weeks, and it's only going to get worse. Construction sites in Texas look like ghost towns, half-finished hospitals, schools, bridges, just abandoned there. Contractors say we lost 80% of our workforce in one raid. Seniors in Florida are suffering the most. Nursing homes can't find people to work. 30% to 50% staff shortages everywhere. One nursing home has closed forever. These undocumented workers aren't taking jobs. They're doing jobs that no one else wants to do. The streets of LA are now littered with trash restaurants close at 6 p.m. No dishwashers, no cooks, no cleaners. America wants them gone, but forgets who keeps us alive. Is this enforcement, or will the country destroy itself? The real question is, who will clean up the mess after we clean them up?
And I regret my damn vote, okay? He promised America first, now he's sending billions to Israel while we're drowning back home. And
sir, why are you so upset today?
I voted for him to protect America, and now he's throwing our money at other countries and dragging us into another war.
Sir?
I didn't vote for him to babysit the whole damn world. I voted for America first. Is that what you media people want?
Frustrating you the most today?
I voted for him to fix the economy. Now gas is $7 a gallon. S even. I could fry a burger with that.
What's been the biggest impact on your business?
He kicked out all the immigrants. Now I can't find anyone to work at my landscaping company. Americans want me to pay double just to trim a damn hedge. You know what? Give me this. You media people still defend him. Tell me why. Huh? Tell me why. Is that what you media people want? Huh? And money! Then take it!
Today's the worst day of my life. Today's the day that I turned my truck in. I went broke. Put it my way, I just went broke. I turned my truck in. Love my truck. I tried my best.
I don't give up. Is this you? Yeah, that's you.
I said what I said, Joe Biden. Say one good thing about Joe Biden. He'll be dead soon, and then...
May you forever live in this energy that you created for yourself. May you have the day you deserve for the rest of your life.
It's financially as well as emotionally. It takes a toll.
Vincent, you voted for Donald Trump?
Yes, I did.
He thought the Trump administration was going to focus solely on deporting criminals. It seems immigration officials, he says, are just trying to meet quotas now. 6 Nicaraguan men who on May 27th were detained along US 1 in Sugarloaf Key on their way to a job. Their immigration attorney says it should not have happened because 5 of the 6 have their paperwork in order with pending asylum cases. Vincent Scardina is the owner of the roofing company where they worked. He's owned it 37 years.
You become their friends, just not an employer, but a friend. And you see what happens to their family. It's quite a shock.
Given his support for the president, we asked what he would tell the commander-in-chief if he had a chance.
What happened here? This situation is just totally, just blatantly not at all what they said it was.
Y'all better check on your husbands if they come back from the job site looking like this. There were no more Hispanic workers on his job site, so they called him in, and now he looking like he's allergic to the sun. He is so stunned, both him and his wife are speechless. Y'all, that sun is not playing out there. Look at this guy over here. You think the sun is playing out in Mexico as well? Look at this. He created a whole shade hat with cardboard because his little bucket hat was not doing the job. And that's not all, y'all. The sun has been so bad, this company had to hire extra men to hold up this tarp on this roof so they can nail in the shingles in peace. The sun is out here playing no games. It is putting out God level radiation, man. Look at this. This man got a whole snowsuit on, y'all. Look at this. What? How do you guys feel about snow gear in 100-degree weather? Would you do it? Could you? And just to let you know, people are still seeing the 2 suns around the planet. Check this out, y'all.
Alright, you guys have to see this. Okay? Watch.
Check this out. Here's 1, here's 2. Oh, there's a 3rd one. Look, there's a 3rd one. Look, it's faint. Y'all see that? 3 of them. They told us in the end times, y'all, that there will be signs in the skies. Y'all see it every single day, y'all. Multiple of them. If you ain't feeling this shift, it only means you ain't tuned in. And by the look of these comments, it look like everybody is feeling it, whether it be for the good or for the bad. But let me know what you guys think about this video. Like, follow, and share for more videos like this. The shift is here. Let's continue to get it. Peace and no more Hispanic workers on his job site, so they called him in.
Not y'all melting. You all are like disintegrating into the rooftops and cement. Like, you voted for Trump so that he could take immigrants out to get jobs back that you never had. And you're dissolving outside in this heat. Y'all should have went for corporate jobs. Go take them out. Go take them out, because you all gonna go extinct at this rate.
We love everybody.
Not everybody.
But, well,
a lot of people.
But
Not
we shouldn't be. We shouldn't.
You know, this is how silly the entire MAGA movement is. So Donald Trump promised that he was going to lower the cost of groceries on day 1. That hasn't happened. Said he was going to lower the price of gas. That hasn't happened. He falsely claims that eggs are down, 400%, which would mean that the grocery stores pay you to take them. Egg prices haven't come down. Rent prices haven't come down. Home prices haven't come down. Inflation's gone up. He promised that he was going to end these wars on day 1. That hasn't happened. In fact, now we had more wars. We had the Russian-Ukraine thing, and then, of course, we had to go in there and help Israel out with Iran. And, it never friggin' ends. He said he was going to get rid of the IRS. What happened to that? Looks like the IRS is still around, boy. They still want your taxes, still want you to file that paperwork. He promised no taxes on overtime and no taxes on tips. Turns out that's a whole crock of shit because, you have to qualify for it. All of this stuff is just complete lies. And yet, for some reason, they believe everything this man says. It is so ridiculous that they cannot see through the BS. The Republican Party, which I belong to for many, many years, bases its whole identity off of stealing from poor and low-income people and giving it to the rich. They tell you to work harder, you'll get ahead in life. Bullshit. If the hardest worker was the most successful, then the donkey would own the farm. And that's an old saying that goes back, and it's so goddamn true. But yet, Republicans will continue along with this so-called trickle-down economics, hoping someday it's going to pay off. But it's not going to pay off. Folks, stop falling for the scam and stop voting against your own interest.
Like, share, follow for more. This is Grim with Get the Rant, and I will see you all in the next video.
Hispanics aren't the only ones that took advantage of the 14th Amendment to be able to provide a better life for their children. I mean, there's so many race and ethnicities and so many people that immigrated into this country. Yes, it was announced, the 14th Amendment, for the babies of slaves so they could be citizens because they weren't even considered anything at all. But what's crazy is that you have this current Trump administration trying to weaponize the 14th Amendment. That way he can attack more people and do more criminal acts to get people out of this country. For the end goal, just to make it white again. Not great again, white again. And people that are agreeing with him tampering with the 14th Amendment, y'all have real issues going on. And I think you guys should reevaluate it. Because this is not just concerning for a particular group of people. This is actually concerning for all groups of people in the United States. And you know, if you don't believe me, look into Donald Trump's baby moms and how their children was born into this country. This whole administration is just full of hypocrisy. And let's not forget that Donald Trump is descended from Germans. What's crazy about that is that his father tried to hide his German roots until after World War II. Do your research. Oh, hey, y'all heard all of that?
New York Times journalist came right out and said it on Democracy Now! This morning. Trump's massive deportation plan is not really about fighting crime. That's one of the biggest lies that's ever been told in history. So what is it about? It's about racially re-engineering the United States. That's what it's about. Changing the culture of the United States, changing the racial profile of what the United States looks like. The true goal of Donald Trump, Stephen Miller, Project 2025, and the techno-fascists all revolve around this pseudo-scientific belief that there is a racial superiority among the original people who immigrated to the United States, the first white Anglo-Saxon Protestant settlers, and they believe that these are the true Americans. And once the Latinos and black people and other immigrants to this country are either imprisoned in for-profit prisons or deported, and that our laws that demand equality are reversed or perverted, it's an attempt to reposition these white men into the original positions of power that they imagined from the early days of the country. If you were really to go and look at Project 2025 and look at the comments that have been made by Donald Trump, Kristi Noem, J.D. Vance, and the so-called intellectuals behind the MAGA movement, such as Steve Bannon and the other people that are forming this techno-fascist movement, there is a common theme which I'll break down for you. Number one, reverse the racial diversification of America. Me, as a teacher, as a young teacher, I remember in the early 90s when our school curriculums began to change by bringing in more black and Latino authors who were not recognized by the people in the past who represented a very white version of American culture, which Trump wants us to go back to. What an outcry when we began to bring in books like The House on Mango Street and Maya Angelou's I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. And we were listening to the comments of the very same people involved in this Trump movement saying that it was political correctness, making us push to the side the more valued and more skilled white writers in order to have this political correctness of multiculturalism. I know these people for a very long time because they affected me in my classroom that way. And now you see Trump removing from libraries some of the very same books because he's calling them woke. So beyond that, we want to see changes that Trump will use to privilege white Christian dominance, to redefine citizenship for European descendants and people that are so-called culturally pure. And now we see him crushing these laws that allowed people to escape violence and war in their countries under international law, turning their backs on refugees who really need the help of our country, and only making an exception for white people from South Africa. He would bring them in big numbers and continue to move out Latinos and Caribbean immigrants of all colors, filling private prisons, filling airplanes, deporting people to private prisons, and trying to use propaganda to convince the American public that these people are criminals, where we know scientifically, looking at data, that the immigrant community commits far less crime than the so-called native population. It's just incredible. I really just can't understand how my black and Latino friends who still support Trump have had their eyes and ears closed. I mean, Trump has been talking from his earliest days about not allowing immigrants from what he calls shithole countries, which naming almost all the Latin American countries and saying we should instead bring in people from places like Norway. Do I have to spell it out for you for what that means? Let me just close by saying the United States has made the biggest mistake that any country has ever made by opening the door to these white supremacists. These are people from the very fringes of society that are going to do great damage to our country the longer they remain in power. Please share your thoughts in the comments and please share this video. Thank you.
Can somebody explain this to me like I'm a 2-year-old? In this country, if you break the law, you get arrested. If you're a cop and you break the law, you get arrested. If you're a priest and you break the law, you get arrested. If you're a soldier and you break the law, you get arrested. If you're ICE and you break the law, nothing. What the fuck is this? Why aren't mayors ordering the police department to arrest these motherfuckers? I don't understand. They're breaking the law. They're racial profiling people. They're kidnapping people. They're busting into people's homes and businesses without warrants. They're beating up people. Arrest these motherfuckers. What the fuck is going on? That's what the police is supposed to do. Arrest people that break the law. It doesn't matter what fucking job they have. So what? They work for the federal government? They don't get arrested? Fuck that. Order your police departments to arrest these motherfuckers. They're breaking the law every fucking day.
Have you seen these 3 videos? Let's talk about them.
Told ICE agents arrived this morning here right around 6 o'clock in the morning. We don't know how many people were detained. One of the farm workers we talked to said ICE agents were chasing some of their co-workers around until they were detained.
The farms.
Officials here were in fact ICE agents, and the people working at this facility were bussed out around 1 p.m. today. In the video we captured, it shows officials moving people into this white bus. These people were handcuffed with zip ties. The bus had shades preventing people from seeing who's inside.
Meatpacking industry.
Impacting this construction project, but many others in the region as well. An industry expert telling us that these raids are having more drastic impacts now than in the past.
How does any of that make sense? This is about cruelty, and we are shooting ourselves in the foot. The number went up. It's 3,000 people a day. Elementary school graduations. courthouses, people doing it the legal way. 6 in the morning, at work, in the fields, picking. The logic that Americans are going to want to do these jobs, like, what's the plan? Who's going to do these jobs? Like, think about it. Like, this can get even crazier really fast. We're like 5 months in. Ay, Diosito.
There is one thing about these MAGA supporters. There's one good thing about them. Is how hypocrite that they are. Is how unreasonable, or will I say is how selfish that they are, because people have been having FA and FOs. People have been finding out. Let me just take for instance the Cuban, the Mexican, the Hispanic, even so many people, other communities as well have been having find out states. And now because this whole thing that is happening is not getting into you. It's not you're not getting affected by it. Now you are calling it out. Now you are not realizing that, oh my god, we just made a mistake, right? Oh my god, we never knew that this was gonna come 10 times fold back to me. Like my grandpa used to say that you be careful of the way at which you point at someone, because when you keep on pointing your one finger at someone, be very, very careful, because the four of your other fingers are pointing directly back at you. So therefore, if you are trying to maybe embarrass someone, plot against someone, try to hurt someone, be very careful, because that might actually come back running. That is exactly the case of some of these migrant supporters on a find out state. They actually voted for this. They actually went out there to vote in masses thinking that, oh, I am covered since I am actually a pan-colored person and have a supremacy and privilege. I do not care whatsoever. You know, they decided to vote massively for this present administration, thinking that one way or the other, nothing is going to come before them, because you know what? They have privilege, and that is not something that is deniable. Yeah, they have privilege. And now, there is no how you are going to keep on hurting someone without getting to the other person. So there's no how, um, one being is getting spoiled without it's affecting the other. So even if this present administration is targeted on some demographic of people, one thing will lead to the other. It is also going to target the what I call the most important people. So I think that is the reason why it's as if these guys are getting affected, and there is no how you can, you know, pass a bill that you have to like differentiate. Oh, this bill is meant for these people, and like that will show the world exactly whom you are. That will show the world exactly whom you are. So let's just take for instance, inflation. Things are getting high. You know, when you go to these grocery stores to get your maybe monthly, weekly groceries, the grocery stores and the prices will not be looking at your face and asking you if you're a black colored person, you're a black person, you're yellow or blue or red person. The same price is the same price that everyone is going to purchase the goods and services. There's something applicable to these farmers. Hmm? You guys massively voted for, to get these people that has been working, and you guys paying them penny, and you actually thought that when they go or get deported, maybe people that looks like me will come take their jobs. Like, and now you are saying that, oh, I have really, really effed up. What have I done? Like, your people chose not to allow a black woman in a place. You rather choose to lose your job, lose your farms, lose your birthright citizenship, lose your every You chose to lose all of this rather than a black woman to become a president. Wow. So wow. You know, I guess everybody will just have to deal with this till the next 4 years or 5 years, even though there's still a possibility of when he comes out again, they will still vote for him. Because sometimes I see all this MAGA supporter, oh, I regret my vote. I was like, look at this person. Even when this man comes back 10 times, they will still vote for him. So there's no point. There's no need of crying and having emotional breakdown. Because you're still going to vote for him. So what's the point? What is the point of pretending to be hurt? Meanwhile, you are really enjoying it. Oh God. Anyway, lovely, so just leave me your own thought in the comment section of what you think of this video. Please subscribe to this channel if you're here to do that. Like, and I will see you, lovely, when I upload.